In the year 1268, under the scorching Syrian sun, one of the greatest cities of the medieval world stood on the edge of destruction. Antioch, the ancient jewel of the Crusader states, once thought impregnable, was about to fall. Smoke filled the sky. The thunder of catapults echoed across the hills. And leading the mighty Mamluk army was a man whose name would strike fear into the hearts of Crusaders and Mongols alike. He was not born into power. He was not born free. This is the epic story of Sultan Baybars the Lion, the slave who rose from chains to shatter the Crusader kingdoms forever. Our story begins around the year 1223, far to the north, in the vast open grasslands of the Kipchak steppes near the Black Sea. Baybars was born into a Turkish tribal family. Life on the steppe was harsh, a world of horsemen, warriors, and constant movement. But fate had other plans for young Baybars. When the Mongol horde swept through the region in the early 1240s, everything changed. Baybars, still a boy, was captured and sold into slavery. Like countless others, he was marched across harsh deserts and sold in the bustling slave markets. Eventually, he was taken to Egypt, the heart of the Islamic world at that time. There, in the crowded markets of Cairo, his journey toward greatness began. In Egypt, Baybars entered the ranks of the Mamluks, elite slave soldiers who were bought young, converted to Islam, and trained with relentless discipline. These were no ordinary fighters. They were the backbone of the army, forged into some of the finest warriors of the medieval world. Baybars trained on an island in the Nile. Day after day, he mastered the sword, the bow, horseback combat, and military strategy. He stood out for his strength, intelligence, and unbreakable will. By the late 1240s, he had risen through the ranks and became a trusted commander in the service of Sultan al-Salih Ayyub. His skills on the battlefield would soon make him legendary. 6 to 830, first victories against the Crusaders. In 1250, the Seventh Crusade arrived, led by the famous King Louis IX of France. The Crusaders captured the city of Damietta and marched toward Cairo. At the Battle of Mansoura, Baybars played a brilliant role. Using clever tactics, the Mamluks trapped the Crusader knights in the narrow streets of the town. The French army was crushed. King Louis himself was captured and later ransomed. This victory filled the Mamluks with confidence. But political turmoil followed. Baybars was involved in the turbulent events that led to the birth of the Mamluk Sultanate. After a period of exile and maneuvering, he returned to Egypt in 1260, ready for his greatest challenge yet. By 1260, the Mongol Empire, fresh from destroying Baghdad and slaughtering its inhabitants, was marching into Syria. They seemed unstoppable. Sultan Qutuz of Egypt marched north with his army to confront them. Baybars commanded the vanguard. At the Battle of Ain Jalut, in the hills of Palestine, the two forces clashed in one of the most important battles of the Middle Ages. Using brilliant tactics, including feigned retreats, the Mamluks achieved what many thought impossible: they delivered the Mongols their first major defeat in open battle. The myth of Mongol invincibility was shattered. Baybars emerged as a national hero. But ambition burned within him. On the return journey to Cairo, Baybars seized power and became Sultan al-Zahir Baybars in late 1260. As Sultan, Baybars acted swiftly. He united Egypt and Syria into a single powerful state. He rebuilt destroyed fortresses, strengthened the army, created a fast postal system, and built warships. He dealt with internal threats, including the dangerous assassin sect, and secured alliances across the Muslim world, even reviving the Abbasid Caliphate in Cairo. Then he turned his full attention to the Crusader states that still clung to the coastal cities and castles of the Levant. From 1265 onward, he launched near-constant campaigns. One by one, the proud Crusader fortresses fell. Caesarea and Arsuf in 1265. Safed in 1266 after a brutal siege. Jaffa and Beaufort in 1268. Baybars' army moved with speed and precision. He personally led many of these campaigns, showing both strategic genius and relentless determination. But the greatest target was still ahead. In May 1268, Baybars marched on Antioch, one of the most prestigious prizes of the First Crusade. The city was ancient, heavily fortified, and symbolic of Crusader power in the east. A massive Mamluk army surrounded the walls. Giant catapults hurled stones and fire. The siege engines roared without stopping. After days of intense pressure, the defenses were breached. On May 18, the Mamluk forces entered the city. Antioch fell. The fall of this great city sent shockwaves throughout Europe and marked a turning point. The Crusader dream in the Holy Land was beginning to collapse. Baybars did not stop. In the following years, he captured more strongholds, including the famous Croix de Chevaliers. He fought the Mongols multiple times, launched expeditions into Nubia, and kept constant pressure on his enemies. At home, he was a great builder and administrator. He constructed mosques, madrasas, canals, and improved trade. His rule brought stability and strength to the Mamluk Sultanate. In July 1277, while in Damascus, Sultan Baybars died suddenly at the age of around 53, possibly from illness or an accidental poisoning. He had ruled for 17 remarkable years. In that time, he transformed the Mamluk state into a superpower, stopped the Mongol advance, and effectively ended the major Crusader threat in the Levant. His successors would complete the work he started. The last Crusader stronghold, Acre, fell in 1291. Baybars the Lion rose from a slave boy on the steppes to one of the greatest military leaders and statesmen of the medieval world. His story is still told today as a tale of courage, ambition, and destiny. He didn't just win battles. He changed history.